In a disturbing escalation of tensions over rising insecurity in Nigeria's Kwara State, a group of women and young people protesting the kidnapping of their family members were reportedly assaulted by hired thugs in front of the State Government House. The incident, captured in a viral video, has sparked widespread outrage on social media, with critics accusing the administration of Governor AbdulRahman AbdulRazaq of suppressing dissent rather than addressing the root causes of terrorism and abductions. The protest unfolded early on December 28, 2025, when relatives of kidnapping victims from villages in Kwara South gathered outside the Kwara State Government House in Ilorin to demand action against ongoing terrorist activities. According to eyewitness accounts and video footage, the demonstrators, primarily women dressed in blue hijabs and holding yellow placards, were peacefully voicing their grievances about husbands, children, and other family members abducted by armed groups. Video analysis shows the scene beginning calmly, with protesters chanting and displaying signs near the government building's entrance. However, the footage quickly turns chaotic as a group of men, armed with canes and whips, charge at the crowd. Protesters scatter in panic, with several women seen falling or being struck while fleeing. Overlaid crying face emojis in the edited video underscore the emotional distress, though no police intervention is visible in the frames. The attack lasted under 2 minutes, but reports indicate injuries among the protesters, including beatings that left some black and blue. The video, shared widely on X, formerly Twitter, includes a watermark reading, Kwara Updates, suggesting it was recorded by a local media or activist group. Protesters were heard pleading for government sympathy, highlighting their helplessness in the face of unchecked kidnappings. Kwara State, often seen as a relatively peaceful region in Nigeria's north-central zone, has faced a surge in kidnappings and terrorist incursions in recent months. Just days before the protest, terrorists reportedly killed one resident and abducted 2 others in a fresh attack on a Kwara community. This follows a pattern of incidents, including the abduction of school children and teachers earlier in the year, with ransoms demanded and deadlines set by kidnappers. In response to the growing threat, Governor AbdulRazaq announced on December 28 the deployment of 1,000 newly trained forest guards to combat terrorists and kidnappers, declaring that such criminals have no place to hide in the state. The governor emphasized a new page in the fight against terrorism, exploiting the state's vast territories. However, critics argue that these measures have not yet translated into on-the-ground security, leaving rural communities vulnerable. The protest appears tied to frustrations over perceived government inaction. Demonstrators from affected villages in Kwara South, a region plagued by banditry spanning multiple northern states, sought dialogue with officials but were met with violence instead. Allegations point to the thugs being loyal to the Kwara State government, though no official confirmation has emerged. The incident has ignited a firestorm on social media, with over 3,000 views on the initial video post alone. Prominent activist and former presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore described it as one of the most despicable scenes at a government seat, condemning the police for standing by as spineless cowards, and calling for the arrest and prosecution of the attackers. Other users echoed this, labeling the event a descent into violence, and demanding accountability from the Nigeria police force. Local voices expressed heartbreak and disillusionment. One ex-user noted, "These are poor helpless women who came to cry for help. This is not a country. This is a jungle." Another highlighted the irony, elderly women demanding safety from kidnapping were beaten and humiliated. This is wickedness, not governance. Some commenters linked the violence to broader political issues, suggesting rewards for thugs during elections have emboldened such acts. Human rights groups and opposition figures, including Tonya Bakonista, questioned whether governance has been reduced to intimidation, urging empathy and action over assault. As of this report, the Kwara State government has not issued a statement on the allegations, though their recent security announcements indicate an ongoing focus on combating kidnappings. This event underscores deeper systemic issues in Nigeria's security landscape. The alleged use of thugs to disperse protesters raises alarms about the erosion of democratic rights, particularly the constitutional guarantee to peaceful assembly. In a nation where kidnappings claimed hundreds of lives in 2025 alone, suppressing victims' voices could exacerbate distrust in government institutions. Experts point to a pattern of state-sponsored violence, reminiscent of past incidents like the NSAS protests, where authorities were accused of deploying force against civilians. If confirmed, this could signal complicity between officials and criminal elements, as some users speculated that rulers in Kwara might be part and parcel of the bandits. Politically, it risks alienating voters in a state where elections often hinge on promises of security and welfare. The lack of media coverage, as noted by the original poster, suggests potential suppression or underreporting, prompting calls for international attention. Human rights advocates are urging an independent investigation by the Nigeria police and bodies like the National Human Rights Commission to ensure justice and prevent recurrence. As Kwara grapples with this crisis, the incident serves as a stark reminder that true security begins with protecting citizens' rights to seek help without fear of reprisal. Updates will follow as more details emerge.
Leave there. What happened?